Hello and welcome to the Desert Sands by Night scene of the level 22 episode of the Battles of Brother Purple. I think it's fair to say that most people, um, when you finish up the heroic and you go into epic, unless you've got a lot of past lives behind you or very strong gear or build, you do struggle initially to survive, or a strong group, I should say. And it's been no exception with us. As you saw in the last one, we really should have died there. The boss kind of got cheated. Speaking of cheating, I'm thoroughly enjoying both the speed and the wings that this build has, and seeing the potential for staying out of the way of things. Now, unfortunately for us, that can only do so much because we have to close with things to do our damage. So that's a little bit of an issue, but at least it means we can stay out of the way for long enough to, like for example, get the cauldron off cooldown and heal ourselves as we did do. So that's one thing. No changes at all to the gear. I don't anticipate any changes now until the cap, I guess it's fair to say. Might find something squirreled away somewhere, but I don't think so. So we've got a mixture of heroic gear and early epic, and that's going to hopefully see us through. So, what do we have to share here? Did I mention it before? I think I must have mentioned it at the end of the last one, where we got absolutely crushed by is it evil damage or untyped damage that thing was doing? Was it a Hezro? Because I've had no end of trouble. I did the spinner quest, and the Hezro on there could very quickly take me from decent health to almost nothing. So I think some of you were saying that the lawful good was responsible for that. Am I taking double damage from this evil type stuff? I never even gave that a thought. I should have put lawful neutral on creation. So that's been a real pain, and from what some of you folks are saying, it's going to continue to be so. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but we'll live with it. Feat for level 22, really good, perfect two-handed fighting. And there's some stuff there that it's not saying. We extra 30% strike through, so we should be up to 180 there. So we're almost hitting 3 things every shot now, which is great. More melee power. There are some other things as well. Because it stacks with all the other two-handed fighting things, I think we get more hit points, which is great. And there was something else as well. Oh, there you go. 25% more of our ability score modifier to the base damage, which in our case is wisdom. So that's nice too. So, as one might say, that level up was kind of a big deal. We've also got the full Drifting Lotus cleave attack back from the Grandmaster tree, because we were a bit toothless damage wise. Now that's been really decent. What I'm trying to do where possible is lead with the AoE bird attack, get everything blinded, and hopefully that counts as helpless around us, and then just hammer in with this thing. And that's not only is it a satisfying, like, boom explosion of key sort of fire and force, the graphic and the sound, but it does do the job, at least so far. So that's been nice. And the quicker we can dispatch things, the less damage we take, which is nice too. That's doing a good job of topping up between fights and trying to keep us, you know, a little ticking thing in the background while we're in the fight. I think, as one of you said already in the comments to an earlier video, I think it's probably going to be the wiser thing to do to drop the Fury thing altogether and to stay in this Sentinel side, because a dead monk is no use to anybody. So we'll, given that we have to be in the Shadow Dancer for the imbue thing, and we have to be in Grandmaster because monk. So yeah, I think we're going to stick, at least for the foreseeable future, in this Sentinel tree. See if we can find anything else that might help us, or failing that, just invest more heavily in the Shadow tree. We've got some fort bypass there. We've got a nice is it double strike and immune to energy drain if we're not already as a monk. I don't know about that. Can anybody answer that? Are monks immune to level drain? I've been casting Death Ward religiously, but maybe we're immune already. Got some nice reflex saves there as well to boost our evasion up. Now I do notice that from 26 we have the possibility to upgrade our Drifting Lotus Strike to do a stun. Now that's, to me, sounding really tasty. That would be it'd better be a helpless thing as well. And if that's the case, that's on a reasonably short cooldown, 15 seconds I think. That would be very nice, because that would be our leading shot then. It would do heavy damage, and then whatever followed would be into, well, presumably the whirlwind would follow into helpless opponents. So if I can make myself press the right buttons together, that could be good. I haven't paid too much attention to the finishing moves really since, well, not any, to be honest, really since we swapped at 12 to the dark side for this heal, and we weren't using that for a heal anymore. I just think that, me being me, I'd get confused having all these different combinations on the bar and all that kind of thing. So I'm not going to delve into that too much, and from the feedback I've got from some of you, it's not too detrimental. I know there are some of you have mentioned that monks on your team have given you temporary boosts to this or resistances to that and that kind of thing. If, for those who know what they're doing, it seems like there's some really great stuff you can do if you know the combos, and you have, I guess you have it on your bar, the order of things to press maybe, but I think that's going to be a little bit too deep for me. I'd settle for surviving, doing reasonably well and having fun, and at the moment we are fulfilling those criteria. What else? Oh, I just wanted to comment on the appearance of our stout oak walking stick. I think it looks quite good, doesn't it? Look at that. Can we zoom in on that? There. Of course I've made a mess. Oh, it's turned us around now, hasn't it? Let's try that again. There you go. I'm quite impressed with that. It's almost too good to be beating people up with. The other thing I was going to mention, one of you drew my attention to these wolf whistle things, available as other things from the sands, either from an explorer area rare chest, or by paying, I think, 625 bronze tokens, is it, to the vendor in the public area. Now, I had a quick look and whipped up all the tokens I had, and I don't have enough to get one of these things. So I thought we would try and do some adventuring in the sands and see if we could add to our total. Does anybody have any suggestions for farming these things quickly? I went in one of the quests with an over-level character just to smash everything up. I thought if I went in the offer of blood, where the things just respawn, I'd be bound to get plenty of treasure bags dropping, but I didn't get a single one. I don't know if it was because my character was over-level, but that was totally unsuccessful. So maybe the best plan would be to try to farm those chests close to the tombs in the undead area, something like that. What do people think? Or if you happen to, I doubt it very much because most people value these things, but if anybody happens to have some going spare and wouldn't mind mailing some to Purple so I could try the wolf thing on the channel, that would be awesome too. Although it would class as either a pet or a hireling, so I suppose it would clash with my policies. But I'm just thinking that the legendary one, somebody told me, has 7,000 health, so it could buy a few valuable seconds of time against either in a raid or against an end boss on Legendary Reaper. So that did pique my interest. Okay, I think that's it for the waffle. Now I can't decide if we should try. I'm not going to do the Chains of Flame because that would take forever. I can't decide if we should try the. I've got some swap boots here just to give the feather falling, and these also happen to have the max speed. Actually, they give more attack speed as well, don't they, than my current ones do. But no DR. I think I've got to keep the DR boots on where possible, haven't I? I've put the feather fall ones so that I don't fall off any of these crazy drops here. Now we've done. Do you know? I don't know. Do we do the Offer of Blood, the Whiz-King, or shall we be really silly and have a go at the Chains of Flame? What the hell? We'll have a go. This really is against my better judgment because this kind of means we're going to be having a go at the raid, and doing the raid without a proper ranged option is going to be a real pain. Am I even going the right way here? No, am I, heck? So for those of you not quite sure how to reach the Chains of Flame quest, and I wouldn't blame you because it's a bit of a nightmare, your first port of call is to go next to the Firebrand Mines quest, or as near as damn it. So the Firebrand Mines thing is up there around that corner. We are going to go round here to the right. The next thing to look out for, I sometimes get turned right round on myself in here. The next thing to look out for is an expanse of water, and you get a DM text telling you about that. I don't want oh, actually it's only heroic dungeon alert, isn't it? So it should be alright.
This is one of 2 locations in all Menacterum where water can be found.
So that's the next one. As we come out of here, we're looking to get on that bridge. Once we're on that bridge, that's happy days. You can just basically follow the thing round, and the way to it, follow that little tree in the distance and the path round to the right. We snake through this pass, and it gives us enough elevation to get onto that bridge. And once there, it's kind of a no-brainer to reach the destination.
Visitors must
But the
travel
amount of time I spent in here just wandering quite close to the quest, but the quest entrance, but way below, and thinking, how on earth do I get up there? To me, you can look at it two ways. I thought for a long time it's unnecessarily long, the approach to this one, but on the other side, when you eventually figure it out and you do get there, you just think, yes. That said, once you've got there once and you know the way, you just think, oh, can I really be bothered to run all that way just to do that quest? So I would guess quite a few people just miss it for that reason too. I'm not bothering with the targets here because it's a heroic wilderness. If it was an epic one, I would, for the little bits of XP that we might glean. Sadly, this is one of several that don't have an epic option.
The heat of the desert is incomparable
Okay.
to the sweltering temperature emanating from the
God, it's a level 24 and we're 22. That's not boding well, is it? Still on the plus side, we can't run out of... Actually, we could run out of mana because I am using it to use our little heal, but I would be amazed if we did with all the souls that will drop. And we can't really run out of ki because we're the only ones in here. We can't run out of charges of deadly instinct because the bird will be attacking regularly. So we should be fairly... Oh, what? That was unexpected. Oh, God. Welcome to the quest. I wasn't even looking at that trap. I know there's some folk up there at the top. I think our deflect missiles is going to be thoroughly tested here. Let's try the old bird. Oh no, bird's still on cooldown. That's not good. Heal then. Okay. Well, that was a good sign. We didn't have any decent attacks to go on there. And now let me not waffle over the directions here. Obviously, that's we need a gate for a key for that. So we need to come back to this point. The map is appalling, so that's not going to help us. That thing needs to be used all the time against the big packs. And I need to remember to pick up, do you know, I think I've passed one already, haven't I? A treasure bag. Not picked it up. You muppet. Or was it a soul that I missed? Okay. I'll let myself off. Our healing's actually much better than that. It's classing us as being in combat because there were some archers up above, I think. As per usual, as soon as that bird drops down, we just get some really decent times. The old block the door up strategy again. As well as the forget to heal strategy, that's always a good one for me. Okay, now I know these fire things are going to come to life, aren't they? Shall we give ourselves a bit of a defense against that? 1 second, I'll just silence the phone. Okay. Now we need to see if we can bird maybe, and then big one. And let's not fall off here, please. Heal. I think it's going reasonably. That would have been a candidate for a cauldron, so I definitely missed a trick there. But okay, we'll take that. Now we are in the wrong boots, aren't we? We need to be in the damage resistance boots. Come on, what's going on there? I'll send that down the corridor as per something you once said, Wagon. I don't think it got very far. Is that because of the gradient, perhaps? Oh, where did you come from? I think one thing I'm always guilty of is holding on too much. Look at this. We're absolutely overflowing with ki. So every time there's a big thing off cooldown, it needs to be used. Never mind pussyfooting about with silly little things. Use the big thing. Go on. Yes. Now what got taken off there? Yes, bronze tokens. Beautiful. Maybe that's the answer. Run chains of flame. Something got taken off there above, didn't it? Our death ward, I think. Oh, that could be a problem because I don't have infinite stocks of that. Might need to remember to shrine to redo that. Okay. Still need to remember to put the heals in more. Although perhaps less so now we've got this nice little heal we can use. I wish they'd stop taking my buffs away, the buggers. Bird attack to blind the Reaper. Oh, don't want that. Now the other boots I've got, wood. Other boots I've got would help against that. They have freedom of movement. That's the bear. Oh God, we're getting that's another bollocking I'm going to get. Although she wouldn't be able to go through all the thing to the quest here anyway. I think when she finds out which one I've been doing, she'll be glad she missed it. So, what went so badly wrong then? What could we have done better? I need to remember I've got this instant kill thing. Alright, on a red crown it doesn't always work because they often have death ward, but let's get it chucked in. We've got key to burn. We need to be using all these options. I can't be too hard on myself because all these, you know, extra things keep coming. Just as you get used to one set of buttons, you know, some new things come available. But instant kill on nasty targets, get it used. Cauldron, again, we were in the shit there, and I don't think I've used it once yet, so I'm a bit disappointed there. But there are, if we make the most of what we've got here, I'm absolutely convinced we can win this. Have I just left somebody or something down here that I shouldn't have done? No. If I had to bet, I would say there's a pretty strong possibility that there must be. Is there a key down here or something? There's got to be something here, hasn't there? Or have I already picked it up? I'd say there's a pretty strong bet that I'll be waffling and just go completely wrong. So I think now we go all the way back. Did I collect a key? I hope I did. We go all the way back to that original intersection and open the other. That's it, the other door. We did get a key somewhere. Okay. Right. Bird. Boom. Yeah, that's a good one to use. Stop taking away my damn buffs, you buggers. Okay. Now, can anybody remember what you do to interact with this ogre to not have the dwarf be cooked? There's one specific... oh, I don't think it's giving us an option because we're not sufficiently high up. Oh, now we do. Is it the bluff that we do? I think it might be the bluff. Go on, get him. A key, and we saved the dwarf. I could count on the fingers of one hand the number of times I've managed to save the dwarf. The poor bugger always gets toasted. So I'm delighted at that. Now what's going on here? Okay. Bird, big attack. Throw the healing there. That's nice. I'm glad we finally used the cauldron, although maybe a bit of an overkill. I tried the instant kill on him and it totally failed. In fact, all the bird attacks have not done very well on him, and we are going to die unless we do something. Did the healing hands there. He was brutal, absolutely brutal. We're still going to die. Oh dear. That caught up with us very quickly, didn't it? I still had a hand to use. There's no way I can get to a shrine, is there? So I'm afraid that's game over. And the two that killed me, which I really should have been paying attention to, I guess those two are red crowns up there, aren't they? So sorry for the fail. I could jib us up, but there's no point because there's no way to continue. So I'm afraid you'll have to content yourselves with the success on the old on the ogre baked dwarf or whatever it is. If ever you find yourselves in that situation, do the bluff if you can. Wagon, you'll have to be impressed that I've carried the golden guile into the epic. That takes care of all the bluff and diplomacy things. So sorry I've basically fallen at the first hurdle there. Got absolutely wrecked. It's been happening reasonably regularly, to be fair, but you will get that, especially as a melee. There are two red crowns there, and I'm pretty sure they're what trashed us. That and our inability to get rid of the boss guy here very quickly. He was hurting us too. Okay, excuses aside, I got well and truly slaughtered there, so apologies for that. And we will try to do better next time. I'll go and explain my humiliating defeat to the bear. Thanks very much as always for looking, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.